Okay, so our guest for today, Davide Pascucci, Italian-born but now a proper Texan. So in Texas, he founded Bright IA, where he helps his clients achieve digital transformation. So now I will ask you, Davide, to introduce yourself a little bit better. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me today. Yes, my name is Davide Pascucci, raised and born in Italy. I moved to the U.S. In let's say 2013, and then from there started from scratch basically. Whereas my background was in the always in the automation and the instrumentation. I worked in Italy like with different like EPC contractors, mostly in the oil and gas industry and pipelines. And then when I moved in the US, like I said, I started from scratch. I went first to Puerto Rico and then moved to Florida and finally, to Texas. And then from here, like first in Houston and then right now in the DFW area. I continue to work in the same industry, and then after years, of working on the same industry, I just got like little bit bored, and I decided to look like on different like avenues, let's say in the same automation industry, but looking more in the manufacturing. So that's where I started like to take other, let's say, jobs until I decided to open my company in back in 2021, summer of 2021, and then from there I founded like Bright IA, Intelligent Automation, and now we are like in pretty much, let's say, 4 year in the business. And yeah, so we got like some employees, and we got like a shop, and I mean things are going well. We were able like to accomplish different things as far as like robotics and automation. But that's kind of long story short, who I am, and what I'm doing right now.
Okay, so about Bright IA, what would you say is the main business that you provide for your clients?
Yes, it's we divide the business in three areas. It's like first is control systems, and when I say that, like we can provide from design, to engineering to programming and up to like commissioning a startup. So what we like to say here, we provide all the 9 yards, which is like baseball terms. Um, and and then we can move to the data analytics and data collection database, so the visualization and the data storage of like the control system, a control system or multiple control system. And then the third part would be like robotics. uh, we like to say machine builders, but it's very focused in utilizing robotics, six axis arms. That's kind of like the three areas we focus. Of course, everything is targeting like the manufacturing general industry is our focus. And Yeah, that's what we do basically.
Great. And what would you say are the biggest trends that you're seeing right now in your industry that it seems that maybe all the customers are asking you for?
Well, it's now with all like the politics, and movements and the tariff and all the things that are going on around the world. It's basically customers are asking us to provide like how to reshore like the production basically. And of course there is like a labor shortage, so to fill the gap, we fit very well in this area with utilizing automation. So people are asking how we can, apply automation on our existing, equipment, or build, a brand new machine, just to speed up the operation, to keep up with the production, to not outsource mostly, like, what they are doing right now, and try to bring everything back home. That's kind of the tendency. There is, like, right now, it's a discovery, situation. Some are already doing it, some are, discovering what it takes. And that's specifically, it applies in robotics, but that's kind of what are the trends right now, and what we see, when we go and visit the customers.
I see. And would you say these trends have impacted your business in a positive or in a negative way?
Definitely is a positive way, it is positive way. There is, of course, like, in our industries, the cycles, of approval, it depends on, how big a project is, how many competitors, but there is definitely an increase of, let's say, request and attention this year compared to last year. And again, it's a lot about, like, politics that are going on right now. Last year, especially at the end of the third and the fourth quarter, we have seen, like, a slowdown because of the elections. But right now everything is ramping up, and it's just this phase, like Q1, Q2, to where, discovering, see what's going on. Things are, are not balanced yet, but I believe, like, right now, when we move to the third quarter and fourth, we are able to do a lot of more, like, things and work in the industry.
Great. And instead, what would you say are the things that, are a bit frustrating perhaps right now, the things that are not going how you wish they would?
Well, I mean, you know, we are not selling, like, consumer, products. So in our industry, it's like the cycle, of what I mean by cycle is, when we start the first approach and discuss about, like, the application, and then we submit, like, an estimate, and then there is, like, an approval, of course, project process that could go up to the corporate level. And of course, this company are requesting multiple quotes, so there are, like, a lot of variables that to take in account if you are operating local or close to the plant they wanted to implement this project. Of course, price, etc. So they are looking at different things, and the holding back is also, like, that a lot of these companies, they don't have too much experience, or let's say zero experience in utilizing and implementing automated systems. So what that means, it will imply from us a lot of, like, educational, contents, and work with the customer side by side to teach them what it takes, because the biggest challenges. So let's say you go to this plant XYZ, and they have no automation whatsoever. The impact from, manual labor to automated labor is huge, and especially for the high level, like, seats. And so what we suggest is, first, let's work little by little. Let's implement these things, like, in stages, in that way the impact is not big. And we always suggest, like, let's take care of, like, a simpler solution if it's possible, so the rate of failure will be reduced. However, there are, like, like, situation that you have to handle, like, complex challenges, and it really depends, but that's how we see it. A lot of, especially here in Texas, a lot of industries, a lot of verticals are huge. There is a variety of verticals. However, and we have been walking, we are there, like, on the plants every day. We saw the plants, and the thing is that there is not too much automation. Some they have it. Let's say, you go to the automotive, of course, there are a lot of there is a lot of automation, but other industries, yeah, they produce, but it's heavy on manual labor.
I see. And is there any particular kind of application or development that you can see perhaps becoming really, really big in the next 1 to 2 years, where you think you can really do some numbers?
Well, yes, I mean, the utilization, the application of AI, it will be a game changer, on a lot of applications. There is literally, you can use like automation in every kind of aspect right now. A specific applications, it really depends on the industry. But the one that we are seeing are, there is an interest in painting, assembling, grinding, welding. Those are like the basic application. Of course, there is, machine tending to material handling. It's a big one too. So all of this, like, let's say basic, application, and you can like apply on those different industries. It's like a specific application, a specific technology. I would say, AI, yes, with vision system we are doing right now, but it will be evolving like dramatically in the following like years, to where it will be a great help to solve like complex problem, different SKUs, and things that they change. There is the application is dynamic, to where you have to, you need this piece of software to handle like all the different situations. So that would be like a game changer. Whereas like right now, it's mostly like, let's tackle this application. There are some limitation depending on how many parts you have, and it's more like hard coded. And then with the AI, definitely this hard coded portion will fade away, I believe. And that's where it's going to be like the big like game changer for the industry.
I see. And what do you think will be the biggest issues in adapting to this change and being ready when the computer vision actually becomes indispensable, let's say?
Like I said, here, like you think in the U.S., everything is advanced, but the reality is different. So we are still have to deal, with this, zero automation type of approach. So I don't know how long this is gonna take. Of course, this application, if you implement, can be upgraded with vision system, with AI, of course. I think our first, like step and challenge, it's educating the customers, and see, of course, how much it's gonna cost, because they have no idea on what it takes from hardware and software perspective, and of course cost associated. Uh, Everyone wants cheap stuff, of course, but there is a cost associated with when you have this type of equipment. Those are industrial equipment. So that's our first challenge. Then when we pass that, and again, some companies, they're already doing it, they already have it, so that would be easier. But a lot that we encounter are just like start facing this new like technologies for them, which for us, that's what we do. But yeah, that's kind of what I see here right now, as far as like like implementation.
Great. So you're essentially a technology provider for your customers. I'm curious about the way you use technology yourself for your internal processes, whether it be sales or even just product delivery, whatever. What are the tools that you're using right now that you think give you the biggest edge compared to your competition, for example?
Yeah, this area, I don't think we are leveraging, like too much right now. I would like, to yes, I would like to have like what I sell, and what I propose as a solution to have in my company. I don't think we are there yet. We are using like I guess the common tools, like CRM softwares and things like that, and then we are utilizing, yeah, in some extent like AI tools. But I would like to have like, for example, like dashboarding, build dashboarding internally to where we can trace our projects, and then everybody can go there and in real time can see what's going on, what we are producing as far as part and software. So that would be like ideally what would be the next step for us. And Yeah, so that's kind of what I see. And then of course, utilizing AI internally, that's another one that we are trying to figure out and see what's the best way to implement in our organization.
Yeah, I think these are pretty common needs that we're seeing today in most companies, really. So talking about that, where would you say you want to go or want to be in the next 6 months to a year even? What are your goals for your company in this period of time?
Well, the goal are like to continue to grow like we have done year by year, and to continue to build. Like for us, our goal is to tackle like a complex problem. I think that's where the success is. We are trying to stay away from the most common applications, because it's very crowded. For example, like when people say, "Hey, let's do a palletizing application," it's like you have like 50 competitors. So for example, like one that is tricky could be like TIG welding, and it's one that we are looking at. Um, like I said, everything that is, like a complex problem that is difficult to solve, or again, like multiple SKUs, how we can solve them. Because if you have like one product, one piece of, like parts or whatever, it's easy, to implement, and pretty much everyone can do it. The complexity is when you have a lot of variables, or the technique that you use, for example, like the TIG welding is different than MIG welding. So that's where we see us, to be successful, to tackle those applications, and of course to help at the end is to help the customer being successful, and have like a fair, like price at the end. We have seen like price spiking all over the places, and some customer are aware. So we are trying to be fair, and in our, proposal. And I think it's what put us, like being honest all the time, and provide like great solutions for our customer that works, right? And then our motto is like, we're gonna stay there until you are satisfied. So that's kind of how we drive the company, and we believe if we continue to do that, and then the more work and more success will come.
Great. And if we go a bit further in the future, even, what are your goals for your company in the next 10 years, for example? Where do you see yourself going?
10 years. So our goal is so we always, like we go to these events where there are like big, let's say A player, or like we like to reference, our business to like the soccer leagues, right? Sometime, and we say, like we have to go play to the Premier League, right? So, or you play to the Champions League, or play the World Cup. So that's where we are aiming, right? To be in the next 10 years, to be at the same level of these companies, that we know some of the operators, and we admire, like for the work they're doing, big projects, like they literally deploy, like on the same project, it could be for us like 6, 7 different projects, in one project. So that's where we are looking, and we are aiming to be, like in the following years. with like continuously seek opportunities and expanding here. I think where we are right now here in Fort Worth is growing a lot. A lot of companies are moving. There is, of course, is a big hub for aviation and military. That's where we see ourselves, operating with this, like with customers in the following years.
Great. Well, Davide, thank you very much. Lots of great stuff. And you can now tell the people where they can reach you, where they can find you.
Yes. So you can easily find me on LinkedIn. I'm very active right there. You can search for my name, Davide Pascucci, and you can find my profile and send me an invitation. My email address is davidp, as in Paul at brightIATX.com. Our website is, of course, brightIATX.com. You can find, all the resources there too. Yeah, if you wanted to talk with me, just reach out on LinkedIn, send me a message, send me an invitation and a message, and we can talk from there.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Thank you for having me.